Trump White House continues to protect taxpayer money. A major fraud bust today. The Justice Department announced arrests in a significant food stamp fraud case in Massachusetts. And the Justice Department says most of those arrested were illegal migrants who face deportation now. Connor Hansen joins us now from Washington, D.C. with more. Connor, it's good to see you.
Hi, Liz. Good to see you. Members of the White House Fraud Task Force say they arrested 15 people responsible for more than $1 million worth of fraud. And as you mentioned, 11 of them were illegal immigrants stealing the identities of U.S. citizens, blocking them out of some crucial programs.
American citizens were boxed out of these programs because illegal aliens took their names to then take their money, or more accurately, your money, the American taxpayers' money. Illegal immigration carries real and substantial costs to American taxpayers.
The task force says some of these cases were uncovered after Americans went to apply for benefits and were denied, not only because someone had already used their identity for the programs, but also used their identities to commit more crimes. The fraud offenses ranged from $4,000 to $500,000. So, suspects allegedly scammed SNAP benefits, disability, and Social Security programs. Federal prosecutors criticized state leaders like Massachusetts Governor Maura Healey for not doing enough to prevent these crimes from happening.
Until they can actually verify that a person who is coming in and saying who they are is the actual truth, then I think the buck is going to continue to stop with her.
And we reached out to the governor's office but have not heard back yet. DOJ fraud czar Colin McDonald is saying they're going to announce more major fraud cases next week. Liz.
Thank you so much, Connor Hansen from D.C. It's good to see you. Let's get reaction to this report from U.S. Agriculture Secretary Brooke Rollins. Secretary, it's always good to see you again. Thank you so much for joining us on the show tonight. Here's the question. Isn't Massachusetts one of the 21 states that won't give your department comprehensive data showing who exactly is on food stamps in the states?
That's exactly right. Massachusetts and other 21 blue states who refuse to share their data with the federal government. But what's more remarkable, let's go back a year and a half when we came into office, and really for the first time, President Trump and our team said, we are no longer going to just hand out these buckets of cash, $400 million a day in 16 nutrition programs across the federal government, just that USDA runs. We give all this money out, we send it to the states, and we have no accountability on the back end to figure out how they're spending that money. So we asked all the states to partner with us. All the red states stood up and said yes, which is how we found so much fraud. The blue states, for the most part, every blue state said no, we're in litigation, and Massachusetts is one of those states. And listen, that was a big announcement, I think, earlier today. But on Tuesday, USDA, through our Inspector General, announced another big sting. We called it Takedown Tuesday. And as an example, a gentleman by the name of Abu Dawib Mohammed in Minneapolis, Minnesota, arrested for over $1 million in fraud. I mean, it is ripe and it is all over this country. We keep rooting it out, but there's a lot more to come.
It's a lot of work to do. I think there's now about 1,000 arrests and nearly 150 million clawed back. I mean, 29 states, many of them Republican red states, they do turn over the data. But the things you're finding, it's like foreign IP addresses, so they're getting food stamps sent over money overseas, correct, fake enrollees. And then we saw the news about 14,000 food stamp recipients were driving luxury cars like Rolls-Royce, Lamborghini, Ferraris. I mean, that's just in one state. So you can imagine what is, not found in those 21 states, what has yet to be uncovered.
Well, that's what I've been saying. Listen, we're partnering with all the red states. They've been great partners. And just in that data collection over the last year, we found 300,000 dead people, right? People using deceased individual Social Security numbers. We found over 500,000 people getting more than one benefit, so getting the same benefit twice, for example. And these are in the red states. Can you imagine when we begin to partner with California, New York, Illinois, when we get that data, once we get through the litigation, what we're going to find in those states? I'm from a red state. I worked in state policy. Texas has guardrails. We do more than almost every other state to make sure that there isn't a lot of fraud, and I would argue that many of the other red states do the same. But yet what we found is stunning. what we're going to find in these blue states is going to blow everyone's mind. The vice president has done a remarkable job of leading the fraud task force, and he and our other senior team has said the more fraud we can root out, the more we can protect those who really need these programs, but also protect the taxpayer and ensure that we're doing everything we can to finally balance the budget. The federal government's footprint has significantly shrunk. I read that the government is about the same size today as it was in the 1960s, which is a remarkable achievement as we move people from welfare to work. But this fraud is a really big component of that.
You know, Secretary, we'd like to get your reaction to the U.S. Attorney and Anthony Esposito today calling out liberal Massachusetts for not doing enough to stop rampant fraud. Watch.
It appears that you can come to Massachusetts and steal as many benefits as you want without fear and without any accountability. Although my office is limited in what we can do to force the state to be better stewards of taxpayer funds, holding these thieves accountable is something we can do, and we are doing it.
If you're the governor and you have people working in your administration and you're not providing the information to the federal government, you're not putting guardrails and checks and balances in place so that the most vulnerable population, the people who are actually these programs are designed for, if they're not getting the benefits, well, then it seems like there's a problem with your administration.
So you guys are really restricted and limited and handcuffed in trying to stop taxpayer money from getting stolen. We understand the Democrat governor of Massachusetts is saying privacy rights. What would be your argument against that?
Listen, if you're going to take money from the federal government and you're going to take a welfare benefit that hardworking Americans are paying for, then we have every right to know who you are, how much money you make, whether you actually really need the benefit, which arguably is not happening in these blue states, and then to hold accountable on the back end. Just at USDA, in partnership with the Department of Justice, we've made over 1,000 arrests in the last 14 months. We've collectively put 121 people in jail. But again, this is just the tip of the iceberg. We are just beginning to understand the years, the decades of fraud. And for these blue states who say that they're representing their people and they're not going to collaborate with the federal government, I say shame on you, because your taxpayers deserve better, and also your citizens that actually need these programs also deserve better, so we can get the fraud out and we can make sure those who truly need these programs are getting them.
Thank you, Agriculture Secretary Brooke Rollins. Secretary, thank you so much for joining us on the show.